Monday mornings at the office seriously suck. Fortunately, we are not at the office today. We are, however, at Buttonwillow Raceway. We brought with us a Yamaha R1, Kawasaki ZX-10R, Aprilia Rsv4 RR, and Ducati 959 Panigale. Now, I know what you're thinking. 959 Panigale, not exactly a leader bike. However, it's Ducati's biggest middleweight, and we think it'll stack up nicely against this other trio. Let's find out for ourselves, huh? All right, Sean, you know what they say.
Sure do. Motorcycles are awesome.
That and all good things have to come to an end, which is why we're back here at the office.
I don't like the... Wait, is that why they said I had to stop spinning laps on the track?
That is why. However, we got a ton of track time on these motorcycles, and we even got to cut away and do a pretty decent street ride. So we've got the Aprilia Rsv4, we've got the Kawasaki ZX-10, Yamaha R1, and this Ducati 959 Panigale. Now, let's start at this red-headed stepchild here. What did you think? I know you were actually a big fan of the Panigale platform going into this. What did you think about the 959 at the track, on the street, how it ranks up against these other bikes?
So here's the thing. I mean, on the launch of this bike, I fell in love. It's not a middleweight, but I love the idea of it feeling a little bit smaller, of having a little bit more power to chase, using more of the bike, more of the gears. But then we rode it with all three of these bikes in kind of a bigger test, and I realized it has some problems.
Right. With this chassis setup that they've got, bike comes unwound a little bit, especially on rougher sections of road, and that was something we kind of experienced a little bit, and you can adapt to it, and I think you can get to a point where you feel comfortable. So I think owning this motorcycle, in the long run, you're gonna be happy because you'll kind of get that feel for it, and you'll get it set up, and you'll be able to ride it to a certain extent and be really happy with the way it works. Brings us to the Kawasaki, arguably the most different feeling motorcycle. It's lower, longer, feels heavier, steers heavier, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, it feels the most like it's a traditional leader bike in the way that they once were. And the best part is that the previous iteration of this bike, I couldn't stand. They've improved this bike incredibly. It is so much better. Right.
Kawasaki has massively improved this bike. I think, you know, this motor feels stronger up top, makes really good power. A couple of the downsides for me, I didn't necessarily like the quick shifter. I thought of the lot, it was kind of the one that had the most aggressive cut to it. It almost seems like Kawasaki is feeding the power back in a little bit slower, and it kind of gives it this stall as you get into the next gear. Also for me, the ergonomics, I feel really cramped. Foot pegs feel high. I feel like the gap between the seat and the clip-ons is tight. Overall, it doesn't fit me. I do have to mention, by the way, that this is my favorite fork in a production motorcycle that I've ever tested. I think Kawasaki did a great job working with Showa and getting this thing set up, getting really good suspension on this bike. Which brings me to the Aprilia Rsv4 RR, arguably the bike coming in that I thought this is the race bike. This is the bike that was developed for winning championships. You know, Aprilia kind of touts their race pedigree, and I think it's the best street bike of the group.
It was the last bike I rode on the track when we did our track test. And the ergonomics feel way different. The seat feels different, the bars feel higher, the whole rider triangle is moved. And it took me a second, first few laps, I was like, this feels so bizarre. But then once I got used to it, I really liked it. And then in the street, it is worlds comfier than the other ones.
Right. It's that Aprilia, it kind of has that bite to it off the corner, and it just keeps powering through and just keeps building speed. Other than that, love the brakes on it. I think the brakes are great. The electronics are just okay. I like the electronics on the R1 better, and probably even the electronics on the Kawasaki better. I do like the quick shifter. It works great, better than the Kawi's unit, about on par with the Yamahas. That if I was honest with myself and I said I'm only buying a bike that I'm gonna be commuting on the occasional weekend ride, I might go for the Aprilia just because the way
we are here to test and figure out which one is
this R1, not even the R1M, just standard base model. It's just built as this one beautiful
fast. The seat is shaped for
doing pretty good.
Bravo.
All right, guys, so that is we've weighed them, done ergos, we've looked at the price, we've looked at all the specs. Love this Yamaha R1, think they've done a fantastic job. How does the Ducati 959 stack up? Really great motorcycle. Ducati has done a great job of improving that package. Aprilia, the most emotionally stirring. Still, I'm sticking to this R1. Sean?
The R1's the best bike. I might end up buying the Aprilia instead, but it's with the acknowledgement that the R1's the best bike.
Fair enough, I can live with that. All right, guys, there you have it. Cycle World's choice for 2016 Super Sport motorcycle. Be sure to check out cycleworld.com for more.
You can check out the full feature in this month's print issue, or if you stay online, you can check out his onboard laps from Buttonwillow Raceway.
I really hope you like it and don't pick out all my bad lines. Thank you.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks.
See you next time.